Stuart, the way we work, or in fact, employees are changing. How is blockchain supporting our expectations?
But I think it's more to do with the fact of things are changing in the world. Yeah, who actually owns the data? Who this data that about my payroll? I have in my work life worked for many different companies, and all of that data about me, about my pay, is stuck effectively in systems that I have no access to now I've left that company. And it raises the question, is that the right way? I'm not sure, but there's certainly changes going on in the world that are suggesting that people want to be able to take their data with them. And certainly with regard to a lot of the stuff that's coming out of GDPR, there are demands that people are making to be able to have more control over that data, and also that right to be forgotten. So I don't want you to hold that data anymore on me. Employees changing jobs more regularly. Employees may have multiple jobs, and we see that in the global payroll that we run. We know that there's quite often a lot more churn of people, so people changing contracts a lot. This means that data is going from one organisation to another, and there is certainly a move for some people talk about a democratization of the data. I talk about it more in terms of data ownership. Who really owns the payroll data? Is it the company who's paying the employee, or is it the employee's data? So is the pay slip, is that the employee's data, or is that the company's data? So there's lots of stuff still to work out on that. But I can imagine a situation in the future where an employee says, no, actually that's my data, and companies turn around and say, well, yeah, no, fair enough, and you take that data with you. Well, with the technology that we're working with Gospel about, effectively the data is the data is the data.
Yeah.
And it's about who owns that data, and that's the possession of the keys is what's important to that. So theoretically, if I'm moving from job to job, I take my data, and my data is there all the time. And that then helps me with all kinds of things like declaring taxes, doing my tax returns, investment. I know you worked for a company previously that was looking at, your credit rating and so on. Well, if you have all your data and you have access and you can give permission to these companies, your data, they can see exactly what you're being paid as for as long as you want. So there's a whole host of things, applications I can see in the future, not necessarily right now, where this technology as a foundation is going to be really helpful.